Today I'm going to show you a pretty cool plugin we learned about. It's about gears and making spur gears and doing it really simple. So let me show you what it can do first, and then I'll show you how to install it. So I've already got it installed. I'm going to go to a new sketch and just pick a plane, and I'm going to choose, or I'm going to create two circles. Let's say I've got a 1-inch circle there and perhaps a 2-inch circle here. Now I do need to put a couple constraints on that's going to help us out. So I'm going to use a horizontal vertical and click the center points of both. That'll line them up. And then I'll use a tangent constraint and I'll put the circles together. And that's really all I need to do in sketch mode. Now I can actually just go to the gear tool. So I'm going to click finish sketch. This will end up installing in your utilities section. And here it is in add-ins. I've got it right here actually showing up, but you can click add-ins and say multi-spur gear. So what I'm going to do, it says circles, right? So I'm going to click both of those circles. Now we can talk about pressure angles and the modules and all this stuff in just a little bit, but just to show you what it can do, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And it's going to create these two gears for me. So you can see it's already meshed up the teeth. It says, all right, that's what you want, right? And these are perfect. And I've actually 3D printed these before, so I know they work really, really well. So let's talk about the installation process of this. All right, so we're going to go to utility, to the utilities section, right? And then we're going to go to add-ins. So utilities, then add-ins, and we're going to go to the Fusion App Store. All right, so we're in the Fusion App Store. You probably are going to have to sign in. So sign into your Fusion account. This is actually called multi-spur gear. Now there is a paid version and there's a trial version. The trial version will do what you said. The paid version is extremely awesome, so I would recommend it. But we'll click the trial, and there it is. So you click on that, and then you're just going to find the version. So if you're Mac, there it is. If you're Windows, there it is. And you'll click download. And it's going to download it to your computer. It won't take but a second to do it. And really, you can click right there. And it's going to come up and says, all right, man, we don't know who this is from. So click more info and run anyway. And I've already got it installed, but you can see it's going to say, do you want to uninstall it? Do you want to repair, whatever? So I've already got it installed. So I'm just going to cancel that. And let's go back to Fusion. After you install it, you can come in here to add-ins. And you can look at scripts and add-ins. Remember, mine's already installed. So scripts and add-ins, and there's a lot of stuff here. But if you go over to the add-ins tab and scroll down, you'll see there's multi-spur gear. You probably downloaded the trial version, so you can click there. And there's a couple options here. You can choose run. I would also make sure to check this box where it says run on startup. Typically, after I install any plugin, I'll restart Fusion. I'll hit the new tab button or the new part button, and let's do it again. So I'm going to go into sketch mode. I pick any work plane really. I always start on the origin. So let's say this time I know that this is a 1.25 diameter circle, and over here is like a 3.5. Now I want to use those two constraints though, right? Here's horizontal, vertical. So I'll click the center points of both. There they are, and I'm going to use tangent. So a tangent on both of those. Those are set up perfectly now, so I'll click Finish Sketch. I need to go to that Utilities tab, and there it is, Add-ins. There's the plugin, or I can click the drop down and say Multi-Spur Gear. Now the first step in any case is we're going to click both circles. Now when we get into this pressure angle, this is really the angle between the tooth face and the tangent. So it tells how pointy the gear teeth are, really. Pretty standard numbers. You're looking at a 14.5 or perhaps a 20. 20 is pretty standard. Now the module, the bigger this number is, the further apart the teeth are going to be. The smaller that number is, rather, the closer the teeth are going to be together. So I'm going to leave it at 1. So the backlash is the space between the teeth. So here's a set I've already created. Okay, so the backlash, you see this gap right in here? Okay, and that's what we're talking about. The root filter radius is this area at the bottom here where the tooth attaches to the actual wheel. Okay, so the bigger that number is, the bigger that fillet's going to be, and it's going to offset some things. I think thickness we can handle, and hole diameter we can handle. Notice these are in millimeters. So our circles, we can hit select, right? And let's say for module, I'm going to increase this. Let's go up to like 3 millimeters on this. For backlash, I'm going to leave that at 0. For me, that works perfectly when I 3D print things. I've never had to mess with that. However, I think if you start getting to the point where when you 3D print things just don't fit well, you can either mess around with this, or I think it makes more sense to adjust that in your slicer. And then the root filter radius, I'm going to leave it 0.5. I think that's fine. For thickness, though, let's go with like an inch thick, so 25.4. And then the hole diameter, I'll tell you what, let's just make it like 5. Okay, so I'm going to click OK now. And it'll create these gears for me. Now, if I wanted to, because I know a lot of us robotics people, we make gears a lot and we use square shafts. So you'll notice it created 2 components. So I can actually go in here to this 11 tooth gear and treat it as a component. So I can go in here and sketch now. And I'll say, you know what, let's go and do a rectangle that is a center rectangle. I need that to be 0.25 by 0.25. So essentially, I'm treating this as a component now. So I can come in here and say, all right, I'm going to extrude it. And I'll click that arrow and just kind of drag it all the way through. And now I can have a square hole if I need it. I do highly recommend this app. We use it a lot in our own class, and it just makes that gear development a whole lot more simple than what it used to be.